Just a day before Thanksgiving, 2 West Virginia National Guard members were shot near the White House. Around 2:15 p.m., police say a lone gunman opened fire in Farragut Square, a busy tourist zone close to the White House and a major transit hub. According to media reports, the attacker walked up to 3 National Guard members who didn't appear to notice him until he suddenly fired. He shot one guardsman, then another. The gunman then stood over the first victim, seemingly trying to fire again, when the third guardsman returned fire, stopping him. The suspect, also shot, was taken to a hospital and is now in custody.
Just start by saying we had a series of very productive meetings, but I want to start by saying after those meetings, myself and my team were notified that 2 National Guardsmen have been shot in Washington, D.C., critically wounded. The shooter shot in a cowardly, dastardly act targeting the best of America, heroes willing to serve in Washington, D.C., serve for people they don't know and they've never met because they love their country and their capital and their community. They were willing to do dangerous things others were not because they love their fellow Americans. Someone decided to turn that into targeting National Guardsmen. That will only stiffen our resolve. We will never back down. We will secure our capital, secure our cities. In fact, this happened just steps away from the White House. It will not stand. And that's why President Trump has asked me, and I will ask the Secretary of the Army to the National Guard, to add 500 additional troops, National Guardsmen, to Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. currently has about 2,200 National Guard personnel deployed, 925 from D.C. and around 1,200 from other states. Police have identified him as 29-year-old Rahmanullah Lakanwal. US President Trump said he arrived from Afghanistan in September 2021 under Operation Allies Welcome, the Biden administration's program that resettled Afghans after the US withdrawal and Taliban takeover.
My great fellow Americans, earlier today on the eve of the Thanksgiving holiday, 2 members of the National Guard serving in Washington, D.C., were shot at point-blank range in a monstrous ambush-style attack just steps away from the White House. This heinous assault was an act of evil, an act of hatred, and an act of terror. It was a crime against our entire nation. It was a crime against humanity. As President of the United States, I am determined to ensure that the animal who perpetrated this atrocity pays the steepest possible price. I can report tonight that based on the best available information, the Department of Homeland Security is confident that the suspect in custody is a foreigner who entered our country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth. He was flown in by the Biden administration in September 2021 on those infamous flights that everybody was talking about. Nobody knew who was coming in. Nobody knew anything about it. His status was extended under legislation signed by President Biden, a disastrous president, the worst in the history of our country. This attack underscores the single greatest national security threat facing our nation. The last administration let in 20 million unknown and unvetted foreigners from all over the world, from places that you don't want to even know about. No country can tolerate such a risk to our very survival.
The National Guard is the U.S. military's reserve component called in during domestic emergencies like natural disasters, civil unrest, or major security events. It includes the Army National Guard and Air National Guard with around 431,000 members, making it the second largest military force in America.